I thought it'd be fun to share with you today what's on my wish list for the Black Friday sale. So some of the items that I'm thinking that I might be able to snag at a bit of a discount. By no means am I planning to purchase all of these things, but maybe a couple here or there. And I will also do a blog post. And if you do want to know the best sales this Black Friday, along with all the items I've got on sale, there's going to be a load of content both here on my YouTube channel and also over on my blog. I will have a hub there with all of the best sales and discounts across the Black Friday and Cyber Week. I feel like it's going to be bigger than ever this year. Anyway, I think we'll just get into it. I less than 10 things to run through. Some are homewares related and there's a few kind of clothing accessories pieces too. And I think we might start with the first item, which has actually been on my wish list for a really long time, kind of been sitting there. And I missed out on the original iteration. It is the facade pattern round trousers. Now I have these in the wool. I've got them in this kind of fawn beige color, and then I've also got them in black. They're a cropped pant, and every time I wear them I always get questions. They're my absolute favorite. You can actually put them in the wash as well. I think I like the fact that there's quite a bit of volume through the leg, and as someone who does have a pear shape and whose widest point is her hips, I just think they are very, very flattering and great if you are petite too, because the length isn't too long. Now, the crop version and the cotton and the white sold out a really long time ago, and I'm kind of kicking myself for not buying them when they're on sale. I've seen that they've now done versions of full length pant in the white cotton, so they are currently on my wish list. I do have a few iterations of this type of pant. I've got the Uniqlo ones, which are really nice and affordable. I also have a pair from Dish, which are more of like a yellowy cream. But what I feel like I'm lacking is something that does have a softness, but also has a bit of structure to it, and that is reasonably slouchy, but not overly so. And I think that these are kind of what it is that I've been looking for. And it's sort of that exercise, you know, where you're trying to find an alternative when really you should just buy the original thing that you had on your wish list. And that's kind of where I feel like I'm at with this particular item. So there's something that I definitely plan to buy. Let's run through fashion first, and then we'll do the homewares at the end. So next on my wish list is a new hat. Now I have a really beautiful kind of thick cotton hat from Marl, and I love the styles that they do every year. The reason being that they are fabric, so they are very easy to just fold down and pack, very easy to just throw in your handbag. The one I have is kind of like a bucket hat style, and I really want something that has a wider brim. Living in Australia, we don't quite have that same level of ozone protection that most countries have, so you have to be really mindful and really careful when you're out in the sun. And I think that this one is called the Baba hat. It looks like it's got a really wide brim and almost like there is like a wire or something like that in the edge so that you can mold it into shape, and that quite intrigues me. So I'm hoping that that one is going to be going on sale for Black Friday too. Now, as much as I love my YSL tribute slides, I find that they aren't the best if I'm going to be doing a lot of long distance walking, because they are more of a stiffer leather, so they end up rubbing my feet, despite the fact that I've worn them probably 400 plus times. Like, they've had a lot of wear. And I realized I've got these sandals from 80. They're called the Ella sandal. They're a dupe for the Row, essentially just a high quality dupe. And there's an Australian brand called Essen. They're based in Melbourne, and all their shoes are pretty much made to order. And they do a really beautiful sandal that's kind of similar, but instead of having a flat leather strap, it looks like it's more rounded. And they do also have this new jewelry that they've launched. You can wear it as earrings, or else you can add it as an adornment to your sandals, the sandals that they sell. And I just thought that these would be a really beautiful addition, and also a really nice way to support a local brand as well. Shoes are my ultimate kryptonite, says all the time, but to me this kind of feels like that missing puzzle piece that will really help round out my summer style. If you have been around here for a really long time, then you will know I have this white denim skirt from J. Crew. I bought it back in 2017, and it has been one of my most loved purchases. And it is kind of looking a little bit worse for wear. It kind of has some marks on it, and it's sort of stretched out and bagged out in a way that isn't really that cute. And it's one of the reasons why I don't really reach for it at all anymore. And I would like to find a replacement. And this is kind of the thing, when you wear and really love your clothes, eventually you are going to have to find something new that will take its place. And sometimes that also signifies a little bit of a shift in the silhouette as well, especially if the trends and our preferences and tastes are changing. Now, I have found one from a brand called Laminaires, which I have a jacket from already. Again, this is another Korean brand. They're on W Concept, and this is not white. It's kind of more of an off-white. I think that it will add kind of a little bit more of a softer element into my outfits. While I can take high contrast because of my personal features, I'm technically a deep winter in terms of color theory, color typing. I find that I like more muted contrast elements in my outfits just because I want to soften my features as opposed to really make them pop. And that's personal preference. And I think that's why I'm personally drawn to the color of the skirt. It's an easy neutral and I think it will go with everything. So again, one that I might end up picking up, especially if I end up adding those white trousers to cart. I discovered a new brand to me. I think it's a Scandinavian brand, but the clothing is produced in Seoul and it's called probably Biro, and it's quite expensive. It's more of a premium brand, one of those ones that you're really splurging on, and they sort of have this very minimal aesthetic, quality attention to detail, all those sorts of elements that I tend to look for in the brands that I am spending a bit more on. And they have this absolutely stunning jacket. It is collarless and it has this button detail down the front, rounded hemline too, which kind of adds in this softer element. And just to me, this feels like such an incredibly special piece, something that I think would feel so magnificent to actually wear and have in my own wardrobe, maybe just worn with a pair of black tailored trousers. And yeah, I'm kind of hoping I can track one down in my size. I did first discover this exact jacket on Essence, and sadly it doesn't look like they've got my size available, which is a real shame. And I will say that they had 25% off late October, early November, which to me signals they're going to have a really incredible Black Friday sale, probably really big discounts, so definitely one to watch. But I'll be keeping my eyes out on the internet, see if I can find it for a good price, but otherwise, I'm just going to admire it from afar. They do a really beautiful khaki trouser as well. And this is, again, an item that I'm seeking out for my wardrobe. I've bought so many different pairs of khaki trousers, beige trousers over the years. And what I've realized is I've just been buying in the wrong color. And this is one of those things that often you can't quite get a grasp of until you've got it in your hands, you've got it with your wardrobe to see how it pairs with everything you own and also your complexion. Because when you're looking at things online, the color can vary depending on your monitor, the actual device that you're using, and I feel like that's kind of been my downfall. I quite like this color. It sort of feels a little bit more cooler tone. I have also been looking at a pair from COS, but they do feel a little bit more formal, more dressed up than what I'm seeking out for myself. So that is again another sort of watch this space. But I've realized over the course of the past few years that trousers make up such a big part of my wardrobe, and it's definitely an area that I want to make sure I've got solid options that I feel really comfortable and happy to wear all the time, that are in kind of my best colors and the neutrals I really enjoy wearing. So that's another sort of fashiony piece that I'm keeping an eye out for. And then the last sort of style items that I'm looking at is actually some new gym wear. I do already have some amazing sets from an Australian brand called Athletica. I do have a discount code for your first purchase if you've been looking at them or you just want to go and check them out. And I really like the side in orange across the front, and that is one of my favorite go-tos for running. And they also do a sleeveless version of this as well. And the reason why I like them is that they're reasonably long, so I don't like to go running in just a crop and my shorts. I sort of feel like it's bearing a little bit too much skin, and I also don't feel that comfortable running in a cropped t-shirt as well. So that's the reason why I like these longer length options, and being that lighter weight fabric, it doesn't feel too hot when I'm running and it's already 27 degrees first thing in the morning. I do think the t-shirt I've seen, it's in this dark green. There's a matching pair of shorts as well, and I do like the upsized shorts. They are more of a thicker fabric, so they feel really supportive on. So I think if this goes in the sale, I'll buy the set as well as an additional t-shirt or two. So the next thing I want to do is replace our chopping boards. Now we've got one of those plastic folio sets from Joseph Joseph, and I actually really love it. However, I've recently read some information about plastics in our lives, and it's made me want to reduce and limit how much we have in our house, especially in our kitchen. So I want to replace it with either a wooden set or a bamboo set. So Joseph Joseph do the exact same folio style in bamboo. You get 3 chopping boards as opposed to 4, so that might be an option. Alternatively, I found an Australian brand called Salt and Pepper. They do one, and it is like 3 chunky wooden chopping boards, and it comes with a stand. And I like the idea of something like that which easily packs away, so it feels quite compact, but also like the salt and pepper one I think is quite aesthetically pleasing, so it also looks like a piece of decoration in your kitchen. So those are the two I'm looking at. Obviously I have to consult with my husband and see which one he likes as well before making a purchase, but I feel like they're going to end up on sale. Homewares always tends to end up being a blanket sale across the board. I also want to get some more glassware. So we're hosting Christmas this year and I'm so incredibly excited. I can't wait to have everybody staying with us. It's going to be absolute chaos. I want to get some more short glasses from Freedom. We have these, they are kind of a dupe for the firm living ones, which I have and I love them, but they are so delicate because the glass on them is quite sort of thin, and I have broken a full set of them, actually 2 full sets of them, 8. So I want to kind of preserve those for more special occasions, but for everyday use, the Freedom ones are so good. We already have them and I'll probably end up buying another 8, I think, just so that I've got enough for everybody. I was also reviewing my last wishlist video, which I'll link up in the cards, and the one thing that I hadn't bought I had mentioned. I think sometimes, you know, when you have a brand that you're familiar with and you're really happy with the quality, I've found that those sheets have continued to soften up in such a beautiful way, and they're really quite thick that I think I'm going to go ahead and splurge on a set from there. I just think the quality is so lovely and I'm hoping that they are going to have a sale. If not, something I'll wait to buy next year. It's not really urgent, but would just be a nice to have. Then the final thing that is on my wish list that, again, I probably won't buy this, I don't really need it, but it's some makeup. So I purchased some things from Victoria Beckham Beauty last year and I've been really happy with the actual products that I bought. I would like to buy one of the eye kajal liners, so you can kind of use it all over the eyes, smudge over the eye for quite a smoky look, or you can use it just as a standard liner. I don't typically tend to use things like this, as I find I prefer more of a precise liner look with a pen liner, and maybe I'll actually use it as an opportunity to restock my eyeliner pens, but I quite like to try this out, maybe in the burgundy color I think would be quite flattering. And then I would like to good alternative to the Merit lipsticks if you have been eyeing those up. Oh, also, by the way, if you live in the US, Canada, or the UK and you want to buy anything from Merit, I know they do a Black Friday sale, so good opportunity to kind of add a few things to your cart then, especially if you've been thinking about buying something from the brand. But I think that the Victoria Beckham lipsticks are a pretty good alternative. They have that same kind of quality on the lips in terms of the way that they feel nourishing, and I would just say the only difference is that I think that the Victoria Beckham Beauty ones are a bit more opaque and ever so slightly more shiny. But yeah, that is everything that's on my wish list for Black Friday. I'd love to know if you are going to be buying anything this year, if you're planning to set it out. I usually would use this as an opportunity to purchase Christmas presents, but we're just doing Secret Santa for Christmas and I already bought all of the kids' presents in September when there was a sale on, just so I could get it out of the way. One less thing to think about. So I kind of am set for that. But yeah, that is it from me today. Don't forget you can go and see a full guide to the Black Friday and Cyber Week sales over on my website. I'll have all that information down below. I'll also send out a newsletter too in case you're subscribed to my Substack. But yeah, thank you so much for spending some time with me and I will see you again very soon with my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.